guys. Feel like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood here. So today we are going to do a tutorial on how to make your in and outs and your had to haves feel more like you. And I'm taking off, I'm like, so Mr. Rogers here. So what you guys did is you sent me pictures and I did my drawings, and I'm going to show you guys how we change them up. I'm going to put on some sandals first. And do you know, like, I never wore this suit at all. This was from Resort. It was really good. And it talks to you in a very nice way. It says really nice things. Okay, let me get this a little more see-through here. Okay, so what you guys have been doing is you've been sending me your pictures. And I've shown you on my Instagram and on TikTok as well how I took 3 items that were my had to haves. And how I would never have worn them together. When I put them on together, so many people DM me and they're like, who the fuck is that? But you saw when I broke them apart how it felt very much like me. And the reason why I wanted to do this and show it to you guys is you can get your closet so weighted down in those in and outs and had to haves. And it gets really frustrating because then you can't find yourself in the closet and you end up wasting a lot of money. And you think of those things then as purely as just full outfits, and you don't figure out like how to break them up and make them work. So, I can't find my glasses. Anyways, we're such a hot mess today. We're doing a photo shoot. Poor Sarah had a horrible migraine and had to go home. And, oh, I just found my glasses. Hold on. And these actually aren't even my glasses. I mean, they are, but they're ones that are like 100 years old, and I found them in the bottom of my bag. And anyways, we're going to have to work with this. So, sorry, guys. All right. So, let's tackle the first one. So, I'm going to go into my Procreate, and you guys know I love this program. What's great is, you know, I got into design, but I didn't go to design school. I did have an art minor and I could draw, but I didn't go to design school, and I never learned how to do Adobe or anything like that. So what I love about Procreate is a total idiot can figure it out. But then all my like Adobe heads here, they've all switched to Procreate because it's just so easy. So this is what I used to do the redraws in. So the first had to have that you sent me was this Dries silver tinsel top. And I love this top, but you said that you just couldn't resist it, but you want to like make it chill. You feel like it's just way too over the top every time you wear it. So this one's easy start, right? We love Dries. Dries is already chill by nature. It's never too fussy. If you had sent me a tinsel top with like tons of seamings and poof sleeves on it, then I would have been like, fuck this, I can't do anything with it. But this I can work with. So what I wanted to show you is, okay, so here's one option that really does just take it full on, right? So you've got it here, and I've got her in the red tights and a red sandal. And I've got her wearing the black nylon, sporty nylon skirt. And I love that skirt because it feels like you're wearing sportswear. So if you've got this tinsel top, then this is a way to definitely take it down a notch. Guys, I'm going to post all these pictures individually afterwards. But I'm also wearing this top with the black pants here. But if you've got a top with like all that silver in it, it is kind of for something special. So when I'm wearing it with the black pant, I don't want to like make it a bummer. So I'm actually wearing the red Godfreys with this. So I think a little bit of color popping out gives it some interest, because the goal isn't to take your had to have or your in and out and make it sad. The goal is to make it be everything that you wanted it to be. And so for this person who bought this, she wanted it to be amazing, but she needed it to just chill out a little bit. Now, I do love it with, here I've got it with the white nylon balloon skirt and just a sandal and then the tank. And I love white and gray together. I think that is so chic. And then I put it here with the black trouser skirt and then a brown boot. And I think this is a really good option for like, you know, October, November, December, dinners out, when you want to be put together, and maybe this is what you call mullet dressing, like it's a little bit of a party on top and business down at the bottom. So it's the good mixture. Okay, so that is the Dries tinsel top. The next one that I'm going to show you is a woman who, she sent me her pic and she was really just like beating herself up for the purchase. And it was this dress. And she said she kept trying to like make it like so over the top. You know, I talk about one ton or none, wearing just one pop of color, or wearing something that your eye just kind of settles on the body and goes nowhere because you're wearing all neutrals, or you're like going for full on ton and you've gone so much that your eye just rests as well. So one ton or none. She was trying to make it a ton. So here she was wearing the shoes with the animal print on it and then all of the jewelry. But she said that no matter what she did, she just felt in costume. It was not her at all. So this dress is tricky for me, and this is one where I would put scissors to it to make it in my vein. So I think why she was feeling so uncomfortable is you've got stripes, you've got tiers, you've got gathers, you have poof sleeves, and you've got strings all over the place. And again, this is a much more bohemian style. This is a style that a lot of people love. But if you're a creative pragmatist, it's like too many bells and whistles on one. So I also, if you look at my highlights, we talk a lot about the rule of 3. And when we are designing, sometimes like we'll be putting something on and we're like, okay, we love this jacket because it's nylon and it's a bit oversized, and then we're going to give this cutout detail. So if I've got this detail and it's this interesting fabric and it's a little bit oversized, then I'm not going to put like sequins on it or something like that. I've already got 3 elements, and once you put that 4th element in, sometimes it takes something too far. So for this dress, what I would do if it were me to make it a keeper is I want to chop off all of the strings. That you can do without a tailor. Like for people, don't be afraid to just like start putting scissors to things. So I'm going to chop off all of those dangling strings. She's got strings on her arms dangling, and she's got strings all over. So I'm going to chop off all the strings. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have someone alter the sleeve. So I'm going to get rid of the poof on it, and I'm just going to square it off and make it much sharper and cleaner. The other thing that I'm going to do is see all this ruffle detail around the neck. I'm going to trim that ruffle detail off of the neck, and I'm going to clean it up. And then I think when you do that, now you've got a dress that it has a print, so it has an element. It has the tiers, so it has the element, and it's big and oversized, so it has an element. It's got 3 elements, so you're going to feel a little more settled down in it now. And then this becomes a great, like it's an easy summer dress. You can wear a flat sandal with it, but you now see that you can easily put just like a clean black, like a clean sandal like this with it, and you're going to feel fine because you're not trying to like do so much with it. So don't be afraid to, I tell this to people a lot, like make the clothing your bitch, you know, like you bought it, you paid for it. You can do whatever you want to it. If I see you guys and someone's taken off the sleeve of this jacket because they like it better as a vest, like go for it, more power to you. So I think a lot of people feel like clothing is so precious sometimes that they don't want to like, you know, you get scared to do it and then you end up keeping something in your closet forever that you'll never wear, or you send it to the Real and, you know, then they're like, here's your check for $10. And you're like, well, fuck you, because I paid a lot more. Okay, this woman sent me this top, and she tried putting it on with our red skirt. And I think it was in the right direction, but she said she felt very voluminous all over, but that was the only thing that she could really point to of what was bothering her. And I'm going to show you what I did here because I think this is more than being voluminous. I think what happens here for her is that when it's oversized and you've got the real open neckline, I think for her, she's feeling a little sloppy in it. So it's one thing to be big and to be wearing a big bottom, but when it's big and you've got this all open, it feels a little sloppy. But for me, what I needed to do to get this top in my vein, because there's a lot going on with it, is what I wanted to do is I really hiked up the back of the neckline here. And this is such an easy hack to do. I mean, if this, like pretend if this was like a really low neckline, all I would do is pull it up behind me and I would just put a safety pin in it. You can really like, or you can just do like a single stitch to it. But get your needles, threads out, and I mean, there's so much you can do that you just, with like a little bit of needles, threads, and a good safety pin. So you can see once you do that, like here now, I've got her with a trouser skirt and a good sock and a sandal. So I think playing into the whole, actually I've got her in a loafer here. So I think playing into like the kind of quirkiness here, like it's nice, but bringing this up makes all the difference. Then I also put her here with the new Celia Drape Stella pants, because I think having that little bit of shine that almost looks like leather feels really, really fresh with that too. So I do like it with the red. I think that this was all spot on. Also, if you can see on here on her photos, she's wearing the nude shoes, which I love, but she also has the bright blue toes. So I think this is fun, but I would pull up on that neckline. So sometimes what you think is bothering you may not be the actual thing. And so just give your self some space to like play around and do things. Okay, this one was interesting. A lot of you, when you guys sent me things, I wanted to find out what was the intent when you bought it and how was it making you feel as a result. And this was a really interesting one. This one, I realized I didn't cover your head, so I hope this is okay. Actually, let me go ahead and wipe out your name at least, because we never know who's creeping around on the internet. Although I will say we don't get many creepers or trolls on Tibi. Although watch it now, like all of a sudden we'll start getting trolled, but you guys are a really nice group, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that and how many people comment that Tibi's like a troll-free zone. So I like that. Okay, so this woman sent me her picture. She's wearing the sneakers, the colored sweater, and the printed skirt. And she was like, please just help me. I don't know how to wear this skirt. And I asked her, like clearly she did wear it. So I wanted to know how she felt in it. And she said, it's a tough question. In general, this was the happiest, most exciting, and at the same time exhausting year of my life. I was traveling and working like crazy, but I loved it. And what I remember is I just bought the skirt and I went for a stroll through the Marais in Paris where I lived. And I needed to find a top and shoes that could fit the skirt, but I came home empty-handed. I really loved the strange print of the skirt, but I didn't feel very confident when wearing it. The styling was not me, and I definitely didn't fit into the Parisian environment. I did not feel elevated, and somehow I felt out of place. Okay, so I really know this feeling, and I think you Frenchies have an amazing knack for making me feel like that, because I remember my first trip to Paris. I'd never even been overseas, and I went to Jill Sander, and I was with my now husband, and I tried on a pair of shoes at Jill Sander, and my feet swelled up the minute they got in the shoes, and I couldn't get them out. And they were like, they called in the manager, they brought in like lotions, they're like putting me in a chair and trying to pull, and it's just like, you know, you just, when you're in Paris or those places where it's not like you want to dress like everyone else, but you want to feel chic and you want to fit in. And I don't even know what they were saying in French about my American foot or whatever, but you know, it was crazy. So I really, really relate to this feeling, because I know you want to feel chic, but you want to feel casual too. And so this skirt can do it. And this is a great, great example of really, like, your woofs will save your ass every single time. So here we go. First, I'm gonna have her just with something as simple as the sweatshirt. So if she's wearing the cutout sweatshirt, and then let's put her in like a fuzzy little slipper, like, she's chic. Like, she feels like herself. I mean, she's totally put together. She's definitely not Emily in Paris. Then here I've got her just in a white button down and a simple strappy sandal. So this is where, you know, when I talk about the rule of bigs and pigs, that when you wear brights or prints, you need to, like, always, like, I never mix them with another bright color. It's more about like giving them, like, in, you know, if you've got a print, like having it be in something icky, glossy, or sculptural. Well, what's great is the print here, it's covering the sculptural element. Like, it's got the nice pleats and details. So it's a great skirt, but you need to just chill it out. Wearing the color with it is made you feel very basic. And that, you know, I know that you weren't happy. That's why you sent this in. What's great about a skirt like this, you can wear one of the big cashmere sweaters in the wintertime and a tall boot, or you can mix it up. And I've got it here with just a t-shirt and a sock and sandals. So really kind of playing into the irony, like my little Judy and Ken tee, I would do it with that as well. But play into the irony here. Sock, sandal, the logo t-shirt, and a big blazer. And then I think that you can play up the one ton or none. Like here, if you're full on creative, like maybe like a Leandra Medine moment, maybe like a Sarah moment. I would wear, I just made this sweater up, it doesn't exist, but I would wear like a little striped sweater with it over a big white shirt, and then maybe like a chunky boot or something. So you can take it all the way. It's really the colors with it, the way you mix the color with it it just didn't feel spot on. And I think if you did the sneaker, then that's where, you know, you've got kind of a sportier sweater and a color. You've got the sportier sneaker here. Sporty, there's no irony here. So if you were to keep a big sweater, I still don't like a colored sweater with it, but like a dorky loafer, or if you're gonna do the sneaker, then give it the business moment on top, so that you've got some good like tension of, you know, if you're going business, go super casual somewhere. If you're going sporty, go super dressy somewhere. If you're going super masculine, go super feminine somewhere. Like that tension gives an outfit a lot more character as well. Okay, so you guys, this is, if you look on my Instagram today and yesterday and my TikToks, I've shown you how to take all of those outfits that I had from the session at our house and really broke them apart. And I think you see how that really does make everything, you know, make everything wearable. But guys, really, like when you think about that pyramid, remember we talk about your woofs, your in and outs, and your had to haves. So your woofs are your without fails. No matter what, they go with everything in your closet. That they really should go with everything in your closet. So I really caution people, if you're going out and you're shopping, like let's say you're in Charleston and you're shopping at Hampton, or you're in Paris and you're at Printemps, make sure you've got a woof on you, because whatever you buy, if you're going around into like looking at buying something really interesting, maybe something really pushed from like a Jacquemus or Sakai or something, make sure that it goes with your woofs. And if it doesn't go with your woofs, then it's going to be that singular piece in your closet that you only wear at an event where you feel like you've got the perfect item to wear with it, which we all know is far less than what we do in our real lives. So, and I even argue at those big events, that's even more when you want to feel like yourself. You know, if I'm going to a wedding or something, I want to feel like myself. I don't want everything to feel like out of character and costuming. So when you are shopping, make sure you're wearing your wuffs. Make sure that the wuffs occupy the most predominant space in your closet. So then what you can focus on is, you can focus on making all these great outfits, but I'm going to show you as well. Here's kind of the reverse that a woman sent to me. She sent me this dress here, and it's from the Row, so obviously it's a beautiful dress. And she says, this dress feels too lame for black shoes like a loafer, but black heels are too obvious. And I would say sometimes black and red gets very 80s aggressive too. So she wanted to know, how would you style this for modernity? Now, certainly if this dress were in a navy or something, I would actually call it a woof, but the red makes it a little more specific. But it's a good example of how to take something and make sure that you keep it exciting without like going off the ledge, right? So I've given a couple different options here. So one thing is I paired the red here with our gray boots. I think pairing the red with like a burgundy boot, a gray boot, a weird brown, like those strange colors in your closet, in boots or in footwear in general, they become the saviors every time. Like, even like with what I'm wearing right now, this shoe, for me to be wearing this black suit, that's where like the shoe, you want it to have a contrast in texture. If like, I love my Rudolphs, but it's a black Napa, and if I'm wearing black Napa with this, I don't have any friction going on with the textures. So something like a black patent here becomes the savior to wear with like any black tropical wools or anything like that. So think about this with the red as well, is if you have any of those weird, strange colors, those off colors, they are going to look great with this dress. And then I've just thrown on a navy blue coat as well. I think because the dress has this more simplified fit, if I'm wearing a jacket with this, I'm gonna go with something that has more of a stronger sleeve to it, or something that's got some good strange to it. I'm not gonna have it be embellished. I think any kind of like gold or anything embellished with the red, just no. But this is very chic with it. I am also going to wear it with the socks and sandals. So here I've got it with navy blue socks, a brown sandal, and then like a stone colored blazer. And that's why like the woofs are really good. Your without veils are great in blacks and navies, but those weird stone colors are so good for layering onto bright colors. So if you have like a basic stone blazer, even if she was wearing a fluorescent yellow dress, that stone blazer would all of a sudden like chicify that big time. And this is where, when we talk about being a creative pragmatist, it's not about being a minimalist, and it's certainly not about exploring color and trying new things. It's about the balance, finding the way to partake in like fashion and what's going on out there without losing yourself. So if I were to do this dress in fluorescent yellow or in like a bright turquoise, you can see how that tone would just take it down a notch. It lets you still experiment and wear really exciting things, and at least in terms of color, but without losing who you are. Now, I've got you, so I also try to make it more like work related, fun related. And then here I've got you going out to dinner. And here I put you in a brown shiny heel, but I've also given you really kind of creepy brown fishnet tights here. So I think, and I know I was saying black and red are a little aggressive, but if I had on a black strappy sandal and black sheer hose, I think it could be fun to lean into the aggressiveness a bit, and maybe I would throw on like a big denim jacket with it, and that would be like, you think I'm aggressive, but look, I'm all like denim jacket and nice, hello. So when you've got something like this that you think is really just playing it safe, what you want to do is think of what the antonym to safe is. And the antonym to safe is unsafe. So play around with the opposites, and I think that'll be a good guide for you. How have we not talked about that before? That's a good way to think about things. Like, just simply reach for the antonym. Oh my God, that's a good thing to think about. Yeah, just reach for the antonym. If something's too pretty on, what's the opposite of pretty is ugly. So then just throw on something ugly to like give it the, all right, this is going to be a new thing in our vocabulary, knowing your antonyms. And then I asked Tracy what she would do to it. And Tracy was like, you know me, this is so pretty and safe. So she's going to wear like a big, ugly, furry shoe with it. She has these hideous ones from Marnie that are so hideous, but they are great. So if you think about those things in your closet, where your pain points are, like, is it because, like when I was showing my my videos yesterday, I was saying that my kryptonite is always like a super sparkly shoe, and then it's anything white and lacy. Now I've learned to dial back on the white and lacy because I've been burned way too many times. It gets way too bohemian. It's so not me at the end of the day. So I have very few things in that corner in my closet. But those are my two kryptonites. And then I did love that bright colored Jill Sander. But if you think about it, so if my kryptonite then is the bright jeweled type sandals, then what that means is that I really need to play into the opposites of that when I'm wearing it. So when I was wearing the jeweled sandal, that's where I leaned way into things much more masculine and much more tailored to counterbalance all of that femininity in the jeweled. So if your kryptonite is bright colors, then that means that you really need, in your fundamentals especially, to get all of those strange colors in there. And you probably need to back off of too much black, because what you find then is when you have the bright colors and you try and calm it down with black, it ends up doing the opposite. It ends up making you feel just crazy. It's too harsh. So that's never going to help you be less harsh. So if your kryptonite is bright colors, you need to make sure you get into like olive greens, armies, weird browns, all of the strange colors on that color wheel that I have up in my highlights. And then if your kryptonite is things that are super pretty and frilly, and I think the woman who sent in the blue blouse, that's a good example of that. If you find yourself buying those types of items over and over again, it doesn't mean that you're confused about who you are or what your style is, because you're buying them and you're not really wearing them. What you need to do is make sure in your closet that you have got eased out, highly tailored items with a masculine bent to work in with that. So like I'm wearing the Stellas right now, that is perfect. Like if you've got all that prettiness in your closet, mixing it with the Stellas every time is going to be perfect. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to mix it with like we have the new high-rise Brancusi, right? Well, I think if you mix that with a really feminine top, that is going to be good look. You're going to look amazing in it, but it's not going to really chill you out. It's not going to give you that super effortlessness that you're looking for. It's going to be amazing, but it's not going to give you the effortlessness. So those wuffs are just so amazing for that. And if you've got the high-waisted Brancusi denim, but let's say that maybe your kryptonite is that you buy things that are maybe a little Rick Owensy, maybe they're a little super edge or super shredded, then that's where like a tailored jean that is high-waisted and has like a sculptural shape to it, that is the perfect balance. Like if I were wearing this crazy like shredded amazing Rick Owens top, well, if I had that tucked into the Brancusi and it's all like high-waisted and clean, and then I'm just wearing a flat sandal with it, you were gonna know who I am. If I wore that Rick Owens top with like a slouchier, big, gigantic, oversized pant, like yes, the pant is me, but when I put it with that Rick Owens top, it tilts it too far, right? I'm not giving the opposite of what that Rick Owens top is. So if you can look at that Rick Owens top and be like, okay, that is definitely like edgy and super like worn, then go with the opposite, right? Because that's how you need to kick it back into a neutral zone for you. So we've come up with a really good style tip here together. Lean into your antonyms, and that is going to help you every time figure out your right balance. So guys, I'm going to go back to my photo shoot now, and but I'm gonna post some really good pictures. By the end of the night, I'm gonna post some new cut-ups that we had just come into the warehouse, and one of them is a blue and white gingham dress that you guys are like DMing me like crazy about. And if you check Darian's IG from the Island store last week, she was wearing it. It's so good, but I snapped the video of it, so I'm going to show that too. But so check out the cut-ups because they're super good, and like we said, we used all remnant fabrics with them, so we put them right into our outlet because I paid for the fabric years ago. Now I have Matt next to me.
Hey guys.
All right guys, take care, have a good day.